everybody, this is Make It Better, and today we're doing with Deku was a swordsman part 4. I'm going to make this 20 minutes long because I do not know how much time I have left. So I'll make it quick, and if I... Yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, thank you for watching, and let's get into it. After we left off, we're pretty much at the point of Zuko Midoriya and Momo Yaruzu finished their fight against Bakugo and Kirishima. Kirishima and Bakugo were taken to um, recovery girls to get some rest. Bakugo was a little fine, but he was still injured, and Kirishima had a severe head damage. I don't know. I wonder why. As he's going to in front of everybody, in front of the class, all might pretty much say that Zuko Midoriya is a VIP due to his strategies and using his partner in the best way possible. Also showing some very nice skills without using much of his swords. Everybody's very impressed, and so on. Everybody else does their matches all the same. Now we move on to the next day, or later in the day. Which one is it? I think it's the next day. Yeah, let's do that. And the next day, they're now being decided who should be their class rep and class president and their like the side person. Sorry, I'm like very blank with everything right now. I'll tell you about it after the video. But anyway, they're gonna be voted the same people. Zuko Midoriya will be the head of all, head president, and Momo Yaruzu is his backup. After that, they all went for lunch. Zuko asked Tokoyami and Ajiro why did they choose him as a leader. Tokoyami pretty much said, well, you seem like a very capable leader to take care of most of us, even though you did fight seemingly the two strongest. Ajiro said, replied with, I really don't know. I would have chosen myself, but I believe you'd be better. Deku takes it in and said, I guess thank you. I'm not sure if I'll be any good, but I'll try my best. Momo Yaruzu, she came by and asked if she could sit with them. They said yes, and she offers brings in all of her friends. I don't remember exactly who her friends or friend group was, but I'll try to look it up. But the bell rang. Everybody is screaming and running, saying it's a villain attack. Same thing happened where Zuko sees that it's just the press. Now, here's something I did not mention. It would be a good time to tell you. I couldn't say what his swords were made of because I didn't remember what it called. But now I did. They're actually called tungsten. The strongest metal in the world. You can look it up. I do not how to spell it, so just say strongest metal in the world and you'll find it. And that's the reason why it takes them, the Demon Slayer clan, so long to make it. So the sword is in the middle of it. The base is tungsten, but around it is sorry, there was a truck that was way too loud. And around it is actually, well, it's gonna be very strong. It's vibranium. from the Marvel universe, where two of its very metal hit each other, vibrates, and therefore it will show water waves, lightning coming out of it, and or everything else, or fire of sorts. That's why when he uses moves with his swords, that's why it also turns to another color. This is my backing up my swords, and therefore Zuko is technically training every time holding his swords. And same thing with his a small dagger. So that he always have his daggers around and his swords only in his costume. With all that explained, let's get back into the scene. So Zuko bring out his blade and throw it at the window, which breaking the glass. Everybody was terrified until they all looked to the window that was also looking towards the news people. The news people didn't notice because they were getting escorted by all the heroes. And then they saw what's going on. And Zuko said, "See, it's not the villain's attack. It's just the press. Now calm down." Everybody's a little annoyed that he had to say in that tone, but understandably, and they did and went back. Zuko was scolded for breaking the window, but also praised that he stopped the riot that was about to happen. Zuko said, "No problem, sir. I'm very sorry about it. I'll have my And he gives him a card, and the teacher gets it and understands it and moves on. This is out of view of all of his classmates, so they don't know what's going on. After class, Zuko pretty much told them not what you guys think. It's more of now, and he's saying this. Now, everybody, I'm very sorry if I have injured you during that very moment. But I have taken responsibility, and Miss Aizawa, I have told a certain teacher I'll have someone, I'll help with it. And Aizawa said, "Alright, that's good. Since it's end of the day, you guys can go." Skipping to where everybody's leaving, Zuko, Tokoyami, and Shota? Shota? What was it? Sorry, the tail guy, sorry, actually went off together and played some games, hang out pretty much. So next, for a few weeks have passed, they were told that they're going to be going to the USJ. Everybody's very excited. Zuko is very confused and raised his hand. Aizawa said, "Yes, Zuko?" "Yes, Midoriya?" Zuko asked, "I'm sorry, but what is the USJ?" And Momo actually turned around and said, and explained what the USJ is. And she's putting it a little bit more into it, just to impress him. That her family also have gave a big percentage on help rebuilding this very building. Sorry, I can't say it. Huh, not bad. Zuko no, nods and said, "Oh, that's pretty cool. So you know everything that's in there, or?" And Momo said, "No, but I believe." And she looks at Mr. Aizawa and said, "I believe that the teacher will tell us more about it as we go on." And Zuko said thank you to Momo as and turned to Aizawa and said, "Sorry, you may go on." Aizawa note this moment that he's very respectful, sir. considering how stupid he seems. And everybody's getting into the bus and started leaving. Everybody's allowed conversation about everything. Suyu a comment about Bakugo and knowing that he's pretty much explosive and just waiting to happen. And everybody have a little chuckle. Suyu also remarked that we now know our top 3 or 4 strongest in the class. Then she says, um, Kirishima, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Midoriya. Bakugo remarks and says, "Hey, why did you put me in third? I'm supposed to be the very top. I am the next coming up hero." And she remarks with, "Really? But you got defeated by Zuku Midoriya, and your partner over there wasn't able to defeat him either. So I prefer." And she kind of said ribbit and says, "I believe you are perfectly, sorry, in third place." Carol, everybody kind of snickers and talk about it some more. Now everybody's learning about the top 4 quirks. Yeah, she wasn't there. Okay, let's do this. Kirishima chimes in and saying that his quirk is hardening. Basically, his whole body turns into solid rock where he can not be hurt as much. Bakugo about his quirk. Shoto about his quirk. Only the ice. He doesn't say anything else. Zuko takes notice of this because he can tell that he's holding back, but won't say anything. Now Suyu asked Midoriya, and Midoriya said, sorry, but can you specify on what's your question?" She said, "Like I said, Ribbit, what is your quirk? What makes you so strong?" Zuko said, "Oh, well, I guess some of you know, but none of you have guessed. What makes me so strong is because I train, and my family's very Pacific fighting style made me this way. I'm not allowed to speak of it, but I will say I believe maybe 3 of you in this bus is able to handle it. I'm not sure everybody else. But, and Momo actually chimes in. But what is your quirk exactly? Is it like something to do with your blades?" And Zook said, "Well," and he kind of like stretched back, kind of like have his arms just move back and stretch out as he come back in and kind of like scratching his head and the back of his head and said, "Well, actually, I'm quirkless." Everybody's shocked to hear this. Tokoyami, I'm not sure if Tokoyami and Hajiro knew this. I say they didn't. And they coughed and said, "What?" Zuko said, "Yeah, I'm quirkless, but like I said, my family's training is very difficult. Therefore, I'm technically, like you said, Suyu, the strongest in this class." And he's giving like a stupid smile. Suyu, and Suyu is very shocked to hear that he's a quirkless, but able to defeat 2 that has quirks. Bakugo is extremely pissed that he just got beaten by a quirkless weakling wannabe. and he's about to attack Zuko Midoriya in the bus, but it was suddenly stopped, which made Bakugo, that was standing, fall on his face. Dang, I'm getting good with this. And Aizawa pretty much tell everybody to get off, and they were introduced by 13. She, yeah, it was a she. I believe that was. Yes, it was a she. It wasn't a guy. It was a guy, a girl. And Uraka is very excited to meet her because Uraka's is, 13 is her biggest favorite hero beside All Might. Yeah, I'll do it. It'll be a cliffhanger, I guess. Or not. Probably. No, I can't. I don't want to do that. Back to it. As everybody's pretty much walking in, and Zuko just smelling the interior. Noticed how, um, noticed that it smelled clean, which is unusual because he lives in the mountains, so he knows what is supposed to be there and it's not there. And 13's talking about more stuff, and Kirishima chimes in and said, "Whoa, we're even gonna fight some fake villains too. This place is awesome." Aizawa looks down and looks and sees that a bunch of villains are coming in a purple mist. And he pretty much said the line of, "Those are not fake villains. Those are real. 13, protect the kids." And he jump off and start and trying to fight. He's halfway there, and Zuko actually went in faster down and started being down on some heroes. But as he's taking down, he's already taken about 10 of them down that were close to range fighters. He's fighting them, but some of the kids see that Zuko is holding his swords backwards. And Bakugo said, "Hey, stupid, you're holding your swords backwards." Zuko turned around and said, "I know, I'm not trying to kill them. What kind of hero am I? It's supposed to be." Yeah, I'll go with that. And he turned around and sliced down backwards and knocking out the next villain. Shigaraki told the fuck. If you hear that, that's me trying to figure out his name. Kaminari. No. Is it? Yeah, it's Kaminari, and told him to spread out the kids, especially that annoying one with the ropes. With Shigaraki is just kind of scratching his neck, just barely, just wondering what he's seeing. And Kirigiri did. Now, it's going to be spread out the same way. Zuko is falling into the water. As he almost touched the water, he's on the surface swimming and trying to keep up. Suyu trying, Suyu already picked up Manila and dropped him on the boat. And when she grabbed Zuko, she tried to pull him, but she can't. And it's weighing her down so much. Zuko actually grabbed her tongue, whipped it, and threw it back. And he swam up to the water and told her to jump in a boat. "I'll be right behind you." So she does. Zuko defeated one of the villains that was going after him, breaking all of his teeth. I remember this because one of the first shark villains broke all of his teeth and jumped into the boat. Soaked, but he just dry himself off. Now Suyu and Manila is very freaked out and seeing how there's so much villains here. and don't know how to escape, Zuko pretty much kind of tap his both swords together, which makes a very high-pitched ringing sound to them. But he just did it just lightly for they can hear it. And when they heard that, they actually calmed down. Manila actually calmed down for once. Zuko asked Tsuyu, your quirk is, and Tsuyu says frog. I can basically stick to any surfaces and use my tongue for grabbing and throwing. Zuko said, okay. And your quirk is? And Manila said, and explaining his sticky balls and how long, and depending on it, he doesn't have control of how sticky they are. Zuko said, okay, okay. Um, and he's mumbling. This be his first instance actually mumbling, and them seeing him mumble. Zuko was just talking about her quirk, saying how Manila's quirk is very useful in certain instances, and he thinks, how is it? And he got it. Okay. He tells Suyu and Manila to wait for his signal. I'm gonna distract the villains. Suyu said, how you gonna distract? We're just on this boat. No, Manila said that. Zuko said, I'm gonna do something very crazy, probably stupid, but when I give the signal, you, Manila, right? And he said, yeah, you throw in your balls. And then after that, mm, and Suyu, can you uh, carry anyone? I am not even close to a train. That was just a truck horn. Sorry about that. Can you carry Manila and jump as far as you can? I'll help you fly further. Just prepare a flash. She kind of looks puzzled, but nods and said, okay, what's your signal? Zuko said, you'll know when you see it. Zuko kind of like stands up, kind of stretch, and jumps in the water. Now, like I mentioned before, his swords are very heavy because they're made of tungsten and vibranium. So technically, he is sinking to the ground, to the bottom of the very pool or pond, I guess lake, very quickly. Which some of the villains are wondering, is he made of rock or something? But decide to try attack him. Zuko was actually holding his breath for this whole time. Oh, great, 5%. Okay, okay, let me do this. And as he hit the bomb, he actually he's holding his breath. Now he's doing a pose, and it's gonna be the main character's pose. It's gonna be Tsunami Slash. He thinks of this Tsunami Slash, and did a full circle around him 4 times, and then slash down once. And above water, well, in the middle, in the water, all the villains are getting moved around, kind of like in a whirlpool in the water. And since Zuko's in the center, it's moving the whole thing. The boat is actually stuck to a stern. It's only acting like it's a boat, but it's really just stuck to a chain. So Suyu and Manila is holding on to the boat as it's swinging back and forth. And Suyu thinks, I guess this is it, and try to jump off. As she jumped off, the boat was also taken in by the tsunami. And Tsuyu tells Manila to tell him, go in his boss. He's um, shaking, but he does it, and he throws it in. And seeing that Tsuyu and Manila seeing that his balls are sticking to each villain, and they're getting stuck to each other, which make them a big ball. And as they're going around, they are actually passing out because of the momentum is going way too fast, even for them. Zuko, he ready again, put down his swords, and did one swipe with his hands on the right, going straight down, and his left straight down, kind of like how you swim, but going up. One swipe, and he's flying up in the air. He took a big breath, and look where Suyu is, pulled out a sword, and said wind blade. And he did it, but not in a slice motion, more of on his flat of his sword, which won't cut anything, and did it kind of like a fanning motion towards Suyu. Suyu was, Manila was freaked out that he's gonna cut us. But Suyu just felt a big breeze, and Manila just felt just a brunt force of wind pushing both of them towards the edge of the beach. And Deku, he did something very unique. As his motion of swiping them, he was about to fall, but he nicked the water. Since if he goes, if you go fast enough on water, it will feel like solid ground. So Zuko nicked it as fast as he can with the swing of his sword, the blunt side, which made him uh, fling slingshot towards Tsuyumana, and he crashed on it, but he standing, kneeling, and he just looked at them and said, "That was a rush." And he's kind of laughing too because he never done that before, but that was so cool. And they, after that little moment, Suyu looks over to Aizawa and see him getting beaten down by the Nomu, almost bloody and battered. Now, this is going to be where I'm going to end it. I'm so sorry for a cliffhanger, but trust me, you will like the next part. And I guess I'll explain what's going on. One moment. You guys can click off if you want. This is more on what's going on, why I'm in a hurry. First of all, my phone is on 3%. And second of all, I do not have a charger for it. So, yeah. And if you feel like I'm rushing things, it's also because I technically hurt my wrist in a way in work, and I might be like this for another 3 weeks. It's very common for me to get hurt in some way and form. Not sure how, but it's always happened. So that's something you guys want to know about me. That I'm very accident prone. No, like seriously. Like on my left hand, there's actually a scar of sorts in the middle finger under the knuckle. And it's about 2 inches long. And it's already healed. It's just a scar now, which looks cool, but it hurt. Like, and the funny thing is, I still use the very tool that did this to me, like normal. So yeah, I don't really learn my lessons, which I should, but oh well. I'm making it up to 30 minutes, but the next one, the next part, for anybody that's still listening, I'll wait until about 29, 29:30, and I'll tell you more. Okay? Now, for the ones that are still here, still listening, this is the spoiler for the next part. You know how one of his sword skills of the yellow person, when he's passed out, Zuko is going to be passed out and be using that technique on the Nomu, and that will be the finishing blow. So, for anybody there, do not spoil it for everybody else. And thank you for listening. Bye.